Hello everybody, happy Friday, hope you're doing very well, and we've got a bit of a special shirt here, maybe an unnecessary purchase because technically it's not going to be one that I'm going to be adding to my own collection. It's a bit of a gluttonous one, but when I saw it get released it was very difficult for me to avoid making the purchase. It seems like I'm rather easily swayed right now, as you can probably tell from the title, thumbnail, and certainly from the backdrop. It's going to be for a shirt, and it's going to be for a club that's going to be very recognisable. We've already got the one that's in my shirt collection here, the home shirt from 2014, 2015, possibly one of the best shirts ever released. Then we have the special from last year, where it's the away shirt, where they swapped out the Paramount sponsor and replaced it with various movies being released throughout that particular season. And I decided to go for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shirt. I thought that was going to arrive in a pizza box, and it didn't, which means that was a little bit disappointing. However, I do have a shirt in here. This has arrived in a box, but there is no box in here. So let's get it open. If you're interested in football shirt stuff, you may have already seen this one banded around, and you'll have an idea of what I've grabbed. But I'm pretty excited to see what it looks like in person. So let me see what's the best way to attack this. I might just do this. Pull it. Aha, there we go. So, anything else in there? No. Right here then. So, we have the front there. So, it's definitely a Inter Milan shirt. And there we go. So, let's get it open. Very tightly packaged, this one. I'm trying to do this without causing too much damage. Let's go. Throw that away. Anything else in here? I don't believe so. So let's get it. Let's get it out. So here it is. There we go. So it's the rear of the shirt. It's very cool. So it's not a white. Well, I suppose technically it is a white shirt, but it's not a sort of pure white shirt. It's almost like a cloudy white, a little bit, slightly off white, especially when compared to the sort of. Again, is it a grey? Is it a blue? I suppose it depends on what they're going to be marketing as. It's probably something totally different, isn't it? It's got its own special colour. But there it is. So you've got the sponsors at the bottom. And let's bring it round to the front. What is going on with this? There it is. Very interesting. So we've got this yellow lemonade coloured line running down the front with some detailing in the middle. Of course, you've got the patch for the league victory of last season. We have the tags, which is always good because that would have been embarrassing if that didn't arrive. And then on the inside, we do have the sort of snake there with the St. George's cross, or the sort of flag of Milan, I guess. So, I'm not going to dress this in a mannequin because I don't really need to go much into Milan. I've already done that a few times already. Now, the keen-eyed of you may have seen something about the fabric, about the material. It is, of course, the player spec version. So this is Inter Milan, and this is their sort of special edition shirt that they released. I think it was probably not even a month ago, to be honest. It's very recently released. It is, of course, celebrating a partnership with Valentino Rossi. Now, I'm not a MotoGP enthusiast. I don't think I've ever seen it happen, to be honest. But Valentino Rossi is one of those sportsmen that it transcends the sport. Even if you don't watch it, you'll have heard of him. Similar to like Wayne Gretzky or Michael Jordan, Nicholas Jackson. These are the sort of names that you just can't avoid in just general culture. And they released a partnership together. So Valentino Rossi clearly is an Inter Milan fan. There isn't like old photographs of him wearing Ronaldo shirts, and clearly there's that connection there. So it's an opportunity to make some shirt sales because that's what they like to do these days. So I bought this one directly from the Inter Milan store. This one cost me £185, but there was free delivery. So it was perfect. Yeah, £185. What you need to consider there, though, is that does include VAT, because otherwise the shirt would have been about £153, which if they would then pay the VAT, it would push it to £185. So certain bigger clubs or corporations will do an option for you to pay all of the taxes up front so you don't have to worry about that when it lands in the UK. Obviously, they always say we can't guarantee that there won't be some random fees, but luckily for me, there wasn't anything additional to it. So that's just something to bear in mind. It looks like it's a high value, but you are paying VAT into that. So, I don't know, it's a lot of money still, isn't it? And what it seems to have not done is detract people, because these have all sold out. At the time of recording, there's absolutely none of the player spec left. At the time of recording, there are certain sizes left in the stadium one, the certain size being small, which is usually the one that's last left over. Now, I could have grabbed this with Rossi's name set and number on the back, which would have been cool, I suppose. It would have been fitting with the actual theme of the shirt. But I was thinking about it. Do I need to do that? I don't know. It's already got enough of Rossi on here. He's not technically the football player. These are the ones I haven't got name sets on, so just for the sake of keeping it clean and sort of simple, I went against that. But I can understand why people would do it, and there probably was quite a few people who have done that. Or alternatively, you could have, of course, picked up an Inter Milan player either on the back. When it comes to the design, so you've got a few things that are sort of help it become a little bit more Valentino Rossi-esque. So you've got this yellow streak down the front there, and depending on what you can see in the camera, there's a sort of typical sun and moon sort of design, which apparently is quite synonymous with Valentino Rossi. Apparently it stands for both of his personalities. So you've got his happy and sort of a nice, gentle side, and then you've got his dark and sort of, I don't know, ambitious side, you know, which I suppose you definitely need to do that if you are racing at those speeds that far off the ground. So that's pretty cool. And also you have, on this side, under the Nike, you have the number 46, which of course is the number that he wears on his helmet. So, you know, there's some small little connections to do with him there. It feels really nice. I mean, I do love a Nike spec shirt. I think it's probably better than the Adidas spec shirts, and it's certainly 100 times better than the Puma ones because it just feels more durable. They actually did wear this in a match against Cagliari, and they did win 3-1, I believe it was. So they got a victory, which is very good. It's one of these shirts where, look, people are going to say it's unnecessary, but I suppose if you are a MotoGP fan, you would have been jumping up and down. I presume if you're a Rossi fan, of course. I know that I saw some comments from like Roma fans or whatever saying, oh, you know, I'm a Rossi fan and I'm tempted to pick this shirt up. I don't know how I'd feel I don't really watch any of the sports anyway, so I don't think I can really relate to that whatsoever. But it's pretty cool. So I'm still going to keep that one as my main shirt because I think that's just really smart and just a beautiful shirt. But now I have two of the away sort of shirts that are special editions. The only difference is, of course, this was a player spec. That one, I don't believe there ever was a chance to get player specs because I don't know if maybe would I buy it, would I have done, but I was a little bit late to the party, so possibly maybe that does exist. What I'm going to be doing for these, I'm going to just sort of store them away in, like, I've got some like picture frame storage things, so I can just hang them there and you can see them all there. So I'd say Inter Milan are one of the best clubs when it comes to football shirts. They release so many good shirts, mostly every season. Nike, if you're a Nike fan, you'll already know what they're all about. But if you're a sort of prefer Adidas or somebody else, you can't deny that Nike don't do some good stuff. I mean, these three are all really, really cool. If I was an Inter Milan fan, I'd be very happy with them. Not every single shirt hits, but certainly they hit more than Chelsea have been hitting anyway, and well with Nike. So that's fair enough. But there we go. What do you think? Is it cool? Is it unnecessary? Too much money? Could be all three of those things. It probably is all three of those things, isn't it? But that's it, really. So thank you, as always, for watching my videos. I hope you have a great weekend ahead. And next week, we'll just continue with the classic football shirts. And I'll grab another one of the sort of interesting ones above me. Goodbye.